Welcome to the first of the Grasshopper routines that we're going to be using for this simple wall construction exercise. Ultimately, we want to keep developing this until we can get it to a point where we can use our manufacturing robots to actually fabricate a scale version of this. Now, we're assuming that there's a very basic level of Grasshopper and Rhino knowledge. And for those who have got some familiarity with Grasshopper, this may be a bit tedious, but we're going to start from the start. So in order to kick off proceedings, I'm just going to launch Rhinoceros, and I'm going to open up on the new file, and I'm going to use a small object in millimeters template. That's probably the best for us here. Now I'm going to explode the screen and double click with my left mouse to expand the perspective view window. Now we're actually not going to be doing much modeling at all in Rhino. Rhino is simply I guess where the outputs are displayed, and we can see the effects of what we're doing in the parametric design software. Now this is also not going to be an exercise in teaching you how to use Rhino, and there may be a few wrinkles along the way because of that, but let's persist. So in the first instance, I'm just going to set up a point. Now in Rhino, we can rely quite heavily on this command line to sort of get prompts for different commands, or we can navigate through this sort of myriad number of icons. But we're going to just start with a point. So in the command line, we're just going to write point, enter, and we're going to just input the parameters of the point, which we're going to just put it at the origin, so it'll be 0, 0, 0, enter, and voila, we've got a point right at our origin point. Now we're going to draw a line, just a simple polyline that's over here, or you can go polyline in here, enter, start of polyline, left mouse click onto the point we've just made, and I'm going to make our line 4,500 or 4.5 meters long, enter, and once I've drawn that, right click to finish the operation. Now I'm going to now make a simple arc. So again, if we've got this window up, we can go arc, or we can go arc in the command line. So the center of the arc we're going to do at our start point here, end of the arc is the line that we've made, and we're going to define the arc as a simple quadrant, so we'll go 90 degrees, enter, and so we've got a quarter of a circle that's 4.5 meters radius. So I'm just going to delete that line there. Now for this exercise, that's all we really need in terms of input parameters. So in discussions about, well, what makes, what are the parameters of a brick wall, one of the defined elements was a sort of a trajectory for our wall, or a set out rail. Now this element here will become our set out rail. Now at this point I'm going to launch Grasshopper. Now before we do that, I'm just going to collapse down the window, and I'm going to drag the window to the right, and that should reset it at a half of my workspace. Now to orientate my view, if I just use my right mouse button, I can orbit it, but if I hold my shift key down at the same time, then I can pan it. Now if you've got Grasshopper installed properly, we access it through the command line, because Grasshopper is an add-in to Rhino. So if we go Grasshopper, and that'll launch an instance of Grasshopper. Now you notice here there's no document. We're going to go File, do a new document, and now we've got an empty palette, I guess, which we can then start to pull in the various elements that will make our parametric routine.